is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? This to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I had to put her on the side and worry about
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy
There
has...
is not, really? This to me. Right, idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, you know, it's real tough.
But I had to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? This to me. But I had to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
Welcome in. How's it going?
But I had to...
Welcome.
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Test. Can you guys hear me?
I had to put her... But I had to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
All right. What's going on, everybody? How does it sound? Does it sound all right out there? I can't tell. Let me see. Somebody said, I can't believe those two. What was it? What did it say? I just can't believe those two can pull this off. I don't think that. I don't think that's the case. Matter of fact, and the call-in number is not live yet, but it will be here shortly. Let me fix this stupid chat box. Dum dum dum. All right, I don't know if that'll fix it or not. We're gonna try it though. Good to see everybody. Welcome to the lab. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz, and tonight I normally don't cause trouble, and I normally respect people's wishes. That being said, I'm gonna double down tonight and triple down tonight on this wonderful Sunday sundown. And yeah, you know, I'm just gonna let it fly. Let it fly. Cotton Farmer, good to see you. BC Proud, Celeste, Angel P, me mom, Janet, single mom of 4, Amy, W918, good to see you. Let me think. No drama. Well, no, it's not drama. It's relating to the case. It's relating to the Summer Wells case. But Josh, how is this helping? I don't know. If you don't think I'm helping, then you go help. I do what I want. You do what you want. But I'm telling you right now, I legitimately, for the last week and a half, have been inundated with clowns, losers, and weirdos flooding my inbox with, "Oh, Josh, you're way off base. You're way off base. 40 years ago, Josh, let it go." Well, first and foremost, that's not going to happen because the passive-aggressive victim shaming is like on threat level midnight around here. So, like, if you want to have an opinion or if you want to, like, stifle somebody's claim of being a victim, you know, and people are asking, well, prove it. Well, how about you shove it? Why nobody needs to prove anything to you? and it's going to be interesting because, and by the way, old Donald Wells says that him and I have been friends. That's never been true. Not at all. And we're going to revisit something that I'm not sure whose show he said it on, but I never let it go. I'll never let it go. And it's going to be heard again. And if you haven't heard this, it was from about a year ago. And it is just about the worst thing that, and by the way, here's the craziest thing about it. It's about the worst audio from Don. I mean, and we say this all the time, right? We say, "Oh man, could it get any worse?" Yeah, it can actually. Let me see. Let me add that. It certainly can. And it certainly will. But I don't know what you'll say about this, because this isn't 40 years ago. This isn't the way back machine. Shout out my Al Borland flannel in the house. Pacific Northwest. What up? Gets a little chilly up here. Why is this chat box, why does it suck so bad? Let's see. Okay, that's probably why. Let's see if that's any better. That's probably tiny. Now you won't even be able to see it, but who cares? Muscles in mascara. Let me go back here. It's always lovely to see you. Alert box. Chat box. Why can't I put anything up on the screen? Drives me nuts. Okay, here we go. I think this is going to work. Bam. Is it going to be that easy? Is it that easy? Yeah, it's that easy. Awesome. I think it's that easy. God dang it. Got to lock them in. If you don't lock them in, you start dragging everything everywhere. So let me just move this up here. Yes, sir, Josh, let it fly, buddy. We're all here for it. Call out the BS and the bastards. Oh, man. Well, if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. That's what I'm here for. And the thing is, people make these crappy clip channels say "Oh, Josh, let it go. You don't know what you're talking about. This isn't about summer. This isn't about June 15th, 2021. That's not the only day that exists in the history of the Wells family. I have that we're looking into some very interesting things on the Rose Bly side of things. What's that got to do with summer? Nothing that I know of, yet she's a victim. There are victims everywhere. You're allowed to be a victim. They don't tell Holocaust victims that they're no longer victims after 40 years, do they? They certainly don't, and they certainly shouldn't. Pretty sure you wouldn't say that, right, in a public square? No. Why would you do that? There are victims all around, and we don't get to decide who we cast off. You don't want to talk about it? Then don't talk about it. You don't believe them? Then shut up. You don't want to hear about it? Turn it off. It's that simple. It is that simple. And if you don't think it is, well, it is. Trust me. It's just that simple. You don't want to hear it? Go on. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Victim shaming on max. I've been victim shamed this week, and I don't even care. It doesn't even bother me. I don't care about being victim shamed. Who cares? But, there are people out there that do. When people victim shame online and stuff like that, I don't care about people that I've never like that I've never met having a bad opinion about me. I could seriously care less. I lose very little sleep, if any at all. Trevor, you're the man. The victims never get to let it go, so why should any of us? Thank you for telling it like it is always. Trevor in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Let's see. Where can I go up here? I just saw on somebody else's dumb, crappy channel that's floundering like a fish out of water. Not a koi, because we all know kois don't. He's sharing text messages from victim survivors because he's up in a huffy because he can't get anybody into his room. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. No one cares. Move on. You're an idiot. I'm riled up tonight, folks, and I'm riled up, and I'm kind of pissed. So I'm just going to let it fly. I'm going to let it fly. Let it fly. And we'll see how many people are actually defending the statement that's been out. And by the way, everybody forgets so quickly about some of the other things that were said. Let's just couple it all together. Let's just throw it all out there. Single mom, good to always see you. Thank you so much for that. Celeste says ditto. She's in the house. We support victims and survivors. Sure we do. Sure we do. But here's the thing. And if you want to rally or rail against me and, what you think that I am, or if you think that other people are, whatever, because, and they're sticking up for survivors, if that's how you feel, do it independently. Don't wait till something comes out and you go, oh my God, he's going after a pedo. He's a dirty cop. He's a scumbag. All right. Well, look, if I was a pedo, I would prefer not to talk about it. But guess what? I'm not, and I hate him. And it's the worst. It's about the worst crime. It's right there with murder. They're hand in hand. I don't know which one's worse. But we could be talking about both here. I don't know. I'm not sure. Bye, Gail. Good to see you. Have a good one, Gail. I don't even know who you are, Gail. I'm leaving. Cool. It's good. I don't want to hear about other things that have happened. See you, Gail. Like, dude, I mean, what am I supposed to do, Gail? You want me to stop the show because you left? All right, guys. Show's canceled. Gail's out of here. Sorry. Show's over. I can't do it without you, Gail. Gail, come back, please. Please. Please come back, Gail. Please. Please. Just kidding. I'm leaving. See you, Josh. Cool. It's awesome. Mary Owens, thank you so much. You guys are very generous and sweet. I will never forget. We back survivors. We sure do. What happened, Gail? I'm sorry. Sorry, Gail. No, yeah. It is not. It's not an airport. Come back. God, I mean, the whole flow of the show is just off now. Gail, but you're going to miss something that you should probably hear. No? Okay, you don't want to? That's fine, Gail. Catch you on the replay. All right, so let's listen to this horrific audio, and I have bleeped it for your listening pleasure. And it's not pleasurable, trust me, it sucks. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Gail always has an I don't know what the hell. What the Gail? Someone's here for Gail, not me. My heart goes out to all survivors of SA. Common sense, true crime. Says it all in your name right there. Common sense. Now, here's the thing. Some of you, if you've been with me from the start of this case, you know, back when I was real friendly with Don, when I was pasting his face on to a fiddler on the roof and calling him the diddler on the roof. Or, back when I called him Don Air and he was firing those stupid flare guns because that's the only gun that he can have. Back when Don and I were super close, when I deemed him the pedo in the shadow. Well before I had ever met Chris McDonough, well before I even knew who that guy was. And I say guy with all due respect. I love you, Chris. But, it's not about you. It's not about me. Not about any of that. You want to take it up with us on the side. You want to compare me and Don. You want to compare Chris to Don and say, oh, we have no right to do it. Okay, well, just listen to this.
My people, my daughter was by my first wife's son. As soon as she turned 18, he her on her 18th birthday. Yeah, because he knew once she turned 18, there wasn't a whole lot she could do about it or whatever. On her 18th birthday. Pretty crazy. Things she could do, but she didn't go crying. She don't go crying and all attention and blah, blah, blah. She dealt with it. I got to give my daughter props on that.
Oh, man, if you didn't hear it if you didn't hear it, listen up again. Don is talking about his 18-year-old daughter getting sexually assaulted on her 18th birthday. And his wife at the time, son, decided to essay Don's 18-year-old daughter. And somewhere, somehow, in Don's mind, that isn't a problem. He feels bad for her, kind of. But, she was 18, so there was nothing that could be done. There was nothing that could be done about it. And he gives her props for not going and crying and going to the police or whatever. Gives her props. Oh, congratulations. You're the best for not doing that. I'm proud of you, Josh. Keep being you. Thank you so much. I certainly will. I appreciate that. So, put a 1 in the chat if that's the first time you've ever heard that. Put a 2 if you've heard it before. I want to see if there's anybody that had never heard that before. Because I can guarantee you all the dummies out there that are defending him have heard this and they discount it. It's just not, it's nothing new. He's so strong and give you so many Okay, so we're seeing a mix here. A little 1, a little 2, a little 2, a little 2, a little 1, a little 1, a little 2, little 1s, little 1s. It's a nice reminder. So, Gail, I don't know where you went, Gail, but I played that for you, Gail. What'd you think of that, Gail? See you, Gail. I'm out of here, Gail.
My people, my daughter was by my first wife's son. As soon as she turned 18, he her on her 18th birthday. Yeah, because he knew once she turned 18, there wasn't a whole lot she could do about it or whatever. On her 18th birthday. Pretty crazy. Things she could do, but she didn't go crying. She don't go crying and all attention and blah, blah, blah. She dealt with it. I got to give my daughter props on that.
Props. I got to give her props. What kind of props, dude? You're proud of her for what? She sucked it up, man. Oh, she did? Yeah, man, she sucked it up. She did a really, she did an amazing job of hiding her pain and her grief and her, You know, and she was 18, so it was legal. Right? No, actually it's not. It's never legal. It doesn't matter what age. Oh, he waited till she was 18 because, you know, that makes everything all right. 18, okay? Now remember, people out there who want to say, don't sit, you know, what's this got to do with Summer? Okay, maybe this doesn't have to do with Summer directly, but this is a daughter of his. This is how he thinks. This is how his mind works. I'm not telling you anything that people don't already know or that's out there, but sometimes you got to be reminded of what we're dealing with. I get it. Dawn doesn't like me. Dawn doesn't like that I play those clips. I don't edit those clips. That wasn't a conversation between him and I. That was a conversation between him and somebody else. Wasn't something that I recorded. I didn't record that. I didn't record that. I just heard it and went, oh my God. My God in heaven. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Dawn's going to go to hell. Something like that, right? Is that the Lord's Prayer? So there's a human being that walks around free, that thinks like this. And what really surprises me the most is that it's mostly women that defend it. Because if a man defended this, he'd probably be tarred and feathered in a public square. And probably rightfully so. But for some reason, there's a fringe group out there that hates cops and hates anybody that sticks up to anybody who is a predator, because they think all people are the same and have committed atrocities in the way that others have. No, they haven't. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you can find me somebody else that says something like this in any way, shape, or form at any time in the history of, I don't know, dating back to like the 1400s, I would love to hear that, because I don't know if anybody else is stupid enough to say something like that. Also, I find it odd that nobody wants to bring this one up. I find it stupid that anybody would defend him. There's no passes here. There's no 40-year-old pass just because, you know, these clips, I was born in 1922. Men did stuff. What? Yeah, men being men. 40 years ago, they were kids. Boys will be boys. Yeah, okay, I guess. What does that mean? Boys will be boys. No, they will not. Boys will not be boys. Not all crimes are equal. Not all debauchery is evenly spread. So if you want to keep, and by the way, what I'll do, and by the way, if you email me or if you leave a comment, it is for the show, and I'll just show it. I won't show your name. Well, maybe I'll show your first name, but I'll show you the thinking that people have. Maybe I'll show your whole name. Don't email me if you don't want me to show it, okay? Because I will let you know that you're supporting this.
A lot of people. My daughter was by my first wife's son. As soon as she turned 18, he her on her 18th birthday. Yeah, because he knew once she turned 18, no matter what she would do about her or whatever, her 18th birthday. Pretty crazy. Things she do, but she didn't go crying. She don't go crying and all attention and blah, blah, blah. She dealt with it. I got to give my daughter props on that. I can't get no work around here because because of all these people, what they done to me, specifically, Chris McDonough and Molly Golightly and all them coming out to my job site. I can't get no work around here no more. Nobody wants to use me because they turned in, what me and Jeannie did when we were little, whatever, which I know was bad and I know it was wrong and I should have known better, but that little girl was sexually active. It's not exactly all my damn fault. Maybe I should have known better. I agree with that, but man, I was a kid too, but they're trying to say they use the words and all. We never done nothing besides touch each other. That was it. There was 3 statements. The police called me when I was in jail from Utah. I laughed at them. Then I started yelling at them. After they read me all 3 statements. Mary's was, at first she said, that me and my buddies was chasing her around. We was all playing, and she fell down. I helped pick her up. And I accidentally ripped her shirt a little bit when I was helping to pick her up, trying to help her get off the floor because she fell down. And that's as far as it went, And I told them guys, hey, man, enough. She's down on the floor. She's thinking we're serious, trying to do something to her when we wasn't, And that's exactly what happened. So that's what she said at first. And she was all for me at first. And then all of a sudden she done a 180 on me. But in her statement that she signed, she said that we chased her through the house and then we made her take all her clothes off and then we just sit there and look.
All right, so let me just say this. I want to give props to Mary and to Jeannie and to anybody else who's ever tried to turn in a scumbag rapist and was ignored either by law enforcement or were told that the laws may or may not apply to them. But I give you props. I give you props the same way Don Wells gives his daughter props that she didn't go to law enforcement and that she sucked it up and dealt with it. I'm not going to give Don's daughter props for that. I'm going to say, ma'am, I'm really sorry that happened to you. And if you did tell your father that and he didn't take you to law enforcement, it's because he's a rapist and he sympathizes with predators. And he doesn't care. And he doesn't like cops. And all his little groupies and defenders and kind of sub defenders, they kind of lay low. They say, well, Josh shouldn't be talking about that. He has nothing. He has no right to talk about it. Oh, somebody's going to talk about it. You're sure as shit not going to talk about it. I will. Talk about anything I want. Ma'am, I'm really sorry that happened to you with all sincerity. And I'm sorry that your dad, like mine, sucks. Sucks having a crappy dad who doesn't stand up for you and do what's right, right? I mean, that sucks. I get it. Oh, let's not forget that Don is the father of Summer. There's your connection. You guys like that one? Let's just tie it all together. What does this have to do with helping find Summer? Well, let's figure out who she was raised by. Your daughter comes to you on her whatever day and tries to tell you that your, I guess, stepson has sexually assaulted her. And you said, I'm glad, thank you for not wanting attention. I give you props for sucking it up. not looking for attention. I mean, am I misquoting here? Am I am I missing it here? Am I missing something? Is that not correct? Right? Is there something that I am missing? I want to make sure that I'm not misquoting. Well, let's just hear it one more time. I know, guys. This is important. You got to understand that. This is so important.
My daughter was raped by my first wife's son. As soon as she turned 18, he...
So the first problem with this is that somehow, some way, Don thinks that there's not a law that, in his mind, that if you are 18, you're fair game. Doesn't matter, man, woman, whatever. You're free game, yo. You're 18. It's the purge. It's the purge. Do whatever you want.
On her 18th birthday. Yeah, because he knew once she turned 18, there wasn't a whole lot she could do about it or whatever. On her 18th birthday. Pretty crazy. Things she could do, but she didn't go crying. She don't go crying and all attention and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, she doesn't go crying, all attention and blah, blah, blah. Boo. She didn't do that. She didn't do what my stepsisters did. Oh, no. She sucked it up like a tough, strong person. What was going on inside of that house before the world was exposed to that filth? What exactly was going on in that house? Because I can guarantee you, we only know the tip of the iceberg. What was going on? Unfortunately, we may never know. When I say unfortunate, it's probably fortunate. Kelly, I don't have that one loaded up. It's just disgusting, though. Yeah. But I will. I'm not done. Not done. There's more to do. Lots more to do. But you can so can anybody, is there anybody out there, maybe in the chat, or send me an email. Let's see if you can defend this one and defend it against other people's pasts. Okay. I've never said anything like that. I've never even thought anything like that. That's one of the weirdest. That's one of the weirder, most disgusting, just asinine, whatever. I'm telling you, it's an all-time doozy. All-time doozy. If you're 18, you're free game, apparently. You're not, trust me, at all. There are laws that protect everybody from any age. They're there. And for people to say it was 40 years ago and you're talking about two women 40 years ago, and most of the people that are doing it are women, because somehow they're the Donwell groupies out there that think somehow, some way, his long, greasy, stringy, friggin' white hair is not going. Honestly, like his hair, it's so gross though, dude. His hair is so greasy that we could probably drill for oil and really bring the gas prices down if we wrung out his stupid his pillow sheet. That's a pillowcase. I bet that thing, when you pick that thing up, it probably looks like a shop rag. Nasty. Cat H says, it took me 45 years. God bless you. God bless you. Sharon says, I don't see how Candace trusted Don around Summer. He's a sicko, and she knows it. That's a fact. That's a fact if I've ever heard a fact. Audio's messing up. No, I don't think it is. I think everything, it's pretty good, right? Nah, Candace doesn't care. Neither does Dawn. There's no pillowcase. That's true, too. Cursed with Curiosity. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate the super stickers and super chats. I mean, you guys, honestly, please, under no circumstances, feel obligated. Dawn, so disgusting, talking about another human like that, and it was your own daughter. Nasty, and may get you the absolute same horrible treatment and more. Let's hope. Let's hope. Single Mom says the audio is perfect. I agree, it is perfect. Yeah, yeah, I don't think it does either, but. So what happened? Gail ran off because she didn't want to hear it, huh? Is that what happened? I'm glad, though, because here's the thing. Like I said at the very beginning, you don't want to hear about it? Leave. You don't like it? Why? You don't have to have an opinion about it. Just because you don't believe them, or just because you think that it's old news, or da-da-da-da. That's the same thing everybody does to everybody else. They dig into their past and bring up old stuff because a history of this kind of behavior is pertinent. It's very pertinent to this case. If you don't think that somehow, some way, this all ties together, you fell and bumped. Like a UFC fighter after 20 years, walking in circles. Either that, or you're just an evil person. Like you're just a really evil, disgusting human being. Could be a bit of both. Mostly, I would lean towards more just kind of being a disgusting human. The other day, Dawn said that a 5-year-old girl reached down and touched his S word. That's what he calls it. He says to reach down and touch my shiz. She put her hands down my pants and touched my shiz. What? That's a 58-year-old man. Said that. Go ahead, defend him. It tells me everything I need to know, but just get out of my face. I don't want to hear it. It's so stupid. Take your little dude. Look, Josh is casting aspersions on a admitted child molester. That's true. That's true. And by the way, you don't have a leg to stand on. I mean, if you want to keep doing this, we can keep doing it. I have dozens and dozens of audio clips of Dawn, not from me talking about it, him saying the foulest stuff known to man and thinking that it's normal. Tons of it. You don't have a leg to stand on. Sheriff Lawson, TBI. I'm sure you guys are aware of this behavior. Okay, look, maybe some of it isn't chargeable. it should be, here's the one thing that really drives me nuts. Murder. It's no statute of limitations. And I believe that's in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico. Or Costa Rica? I can't remember which one's our province or our territory. I can't remember. But you just, no statute of limitation. But there is a statute of limitation on stealing somebody's life, their heart, their soul, their mind. There's a statute of limitation on it. Now, some states are getting rid of that. Puerto Rico, some states are getting rid of that, and they absolutely should. They absolutely should. I'm telling you. It's wrong. Say what you want about me. Go ahead, take your shot. Just talk about me. Talk about Chris. Talk about Jeannie and Mary. Everybody's got a past. But just know that when you do talk about Jeannie, when you do talk about Mary, you're talking about two women who did try to do something about this many, many years ago. And it was thwarted by another sick man. That would be Don Wells' dad. And if you ask me, he's just as guilty. See something, say something, but not if it's Donnie. And the story goes that when he was confronted, Don ran to the shed. Guy loves them. Loves the sheds. Loves them. Has like 17 sheds. He loves them. It's his thing. And let it go. Just let it go. Jeannie, Mary, you let it go. It's been 40 years. Don't let it go. Never let it go. Never stop talking about it. He admitted to it. Oh, I got an email the other day. Somebody says he's not a convicted pedophile. Okay, he's an admitted one. What's worse? But I stood up like a man. By the way, I really do. I have always hated the term. I was a man about it. I manned up. It's like a stupid generic thing to say. No, what do you mean? You apologize for something that you shouldn't have done? That's just called being like sort of like a human, right? Is that what that is? I wouldn't say that makes you anything other than a pedophile still. Doesn't matter. I manned up. I admitted to what I did. And it happened to my daughter on her 18th birthday, and there was nothing that could be done about it because once you're 18, the laws of abuse do not apply in my mind. For somebody who's been to jail umpteen times, you sure are fast and loose with the sex crime laws until you really need to know them. I manned up. I thought you were a teenager. I was a little boy. You weren't a little boy. What is it? Isn't it 13 like when you're considered like a man in most cultures? Something like that. Caged on the inside. I love that name. That's good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Caged on the inside. Yeah, so I understand the thinking. I don't know if that's the case, but if you you're just as guilty if you stop children. If he stopped them from reporting what happened to them, he should be in trouble as well. I don't care how old he is. I don't care what kind of dementia you have. It's messed up. Sick. I always tell you, don't tell me anything that you don't. If you're going to tell me something and it's going to be a major, I need to confide in you something, and you're going to tell me a crime like against humans, that's really not something that should have, been brought up. Don commenting on Age's sister's body. Yeah, I remember that. Body from Hell. Was that what it was called? Was that what it's called? Gail, don't ever come into my chat again. Just stay out, please. You obviously, we don't see things the same. We never will. Just leave forever, please. Go. There's tons of other YouTube channels you can watch. Might fall in line with you a little bit more. Bye, Gail. I mean, you were the one that came in here making a big old deal about leaving. You could have just left. I would have never even noticed. He said it was like a body from hell or something like that. I can't remember exactly. It was disgusting. Hot body. Yeah, something like that. Kelly O says, he said, yeah. Yeah, SA is one of those things that honestly probably within the last like 20 years or so, maybe 25 years, has really, especially with everything that's happened with, that whole Catholic Church, and not just the Catholic Church, but like there were some priests. And like I've always said this as well, it's not the Catholic religion. The reason that you have so many pedos in the Catholic Church or churches in general is because that's what the pedos seek out. Those are the kind of positions that they seek out. Power, isolation, don't question me, so on and so forth. Well, it's not the religion. It's that they target those positions. That's why. So don't go to Catholic Church. I was baptized Catholic. I don't remember it, though. Thank God. They do hide. That is why people in positions of power are able to operate with impunity and sort of squirm along the, the underbelly of society. Teachers, professors. It happens in every profession. But specifically when it comes to, for a very long time, that's what was happening with just a lot of places. I remember one time, which was really weird too. And another problem was that the way that the Catholic Church, like the archdiocese or whatever, whoever makes the rules or whatever, they had kind of this like, their response to it was terrible, which made everything worse. So let's just, I pray for Jeannie and Mary. Abusers do whatever they know to do that lets them get their way. Don whines and makes up dumb excuses. Exactly. Yeah, so it actually kind of empowered these fake priests who were pedos, because the Catholic Church they wanted to just kind of move them around. Hey, we're going to move you over to here. We're going to move you over to there. We don't want this whole thing, going on. And maybe that's why Don likes religion so much. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. My daughter was essayed and I don't care because she didn't whine. Father Don. Unfortunately, that has a ring to it. It's not quite as good as the priest from The Sopranos, Father Ingentoli. He was one of my favorites. He'd always flirt with Carmela and eat all of her food, but he'd never commit the ultimate sin. That we knew of. My name's Pastor Don, Brother Don. She's like, what? You kidding me? "'Tis better to give than to receive, brother." Cool. How about you receive a 75-year jail sentence on top of whatever else they find? No, Jose did not. It wasn't self-infliction. No, it wasn't, from what I understand. But no. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of it happens a lot, unfortunately. I can't. That's another thing, his dirt bikes. I hate it. Have you ever noticed how he always goes to the dirt bikes? It's like the who's that old guy on Family Guy? Herbert, the disgusting old man. Like how he's always trying to get kids for the popsicles, and Don would be like, I have a dirt bike. Look, man, let's see. Chrissy says, I was raised strict Catholic, school and all. I'm so thankful my diocese did not have any allegations, but the whole thing just broke my heart. Well, here's the thing. There are so many good priests and pastors and it people like Don give whatever Christianity a bad name, or people like Benny Hinn. You guys remember Benny Hinn? That guy was weird. Not a guy on top of the list that you really want to hang out with. Yeah, a life sentence would probably be better. Kayla, how are you? Nice to see you. Always lovely to see you, Kayla. I miss Benny Hill. No, it's Benny Hinn, not Benny Hill. PG and Don give human race a bad name. It's hard to argue with you there. I'm not even going to attempt it. Because that would just be ridiculous. Let me see here. And be wary of the flip-flops. You guys got to understand. Be wary of people that will stick up for admitted pedos, because obviously there's something in their mind. And by the way, I didn't know that you have to have a squeaky clean record to not hate pedophiles. And by the way, my record is I have never even been arrested. I know a lot of you hate that, and that bothers you. And it shouldn't. That's 37 years of clean living. Sorry. Say what you want. Not one. And trust me, they look. They pull up my little, they go on Intel, what is it, Intellus? Boom, 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 boom. Guess what? Nothing. What are you going to, it sucks, right? It really sucks. Brenda Lee, new member. Linda, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Benny Hill over Benny Hinn. Benny Hill over Benny Hinn. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things like say a 40-year-old, and I'm not 40, by the way, but say a 40-year-old stands behind, in front of a judge for the first time. He's got allegations against him. You know, he's been indicted for something. And do you think that judge isn't going to look at someone's record and they go, he's never even been arrested before, 40 years. What's he in trouble for? Shoplifting. Did you do it? No. Well, you know, I mean, I don't see anything in your past to indicate that you would do something like that. And then you have Don would waddle up there with his spackled ass crack and they say, Don, you're accused of crimes against, children and adults maybe. I'm sure. I mean, he threatens to beat me up all the time. I'll be free. But, you walk right up there and say, wow. And you look back and you go, holy crap, dude. Holy crap. Like you have quite a history. Got quite a history. Yeah. We're going to lock your ass up. And then say the other guy, say he is guilty. What do you think is going to happen to him? Probably not much. Maybe probation. Never been in trouble before. Remember this. There's a difference. It's not the same. Stop comparing stupid stuff to life crimes. Never arrested, ever questioned, never parking ticket. I'm sure I've had tickets. Like I've had a ticket before. That's a moving violation. I haven't had one in years. No mugshot, no nothing. I did say spackled ass crack. I went, that's when the tiger comes out. Sometimes the tiger comes out. I was fired up tonight. Just, everybody's like, hey. Wait, what'd Trevor say? Is Trevor a 7-time felon? My one speeding ticket now means I can't speak against a pedophile. It certainly doesn't mean that. And you speak out against wrong. You're allowed. Your access card has been approved. And all you hating hens out there, access denied. You don't exist. Trevor, I'll just make it clear for you, bro. I mean, I don't know you well, but as long as, you're cool with the, you have there's one qualification. And by the way, you can walk up into prison and be housed with like a mafia hitman who's a killer. and who is a bad, bad person who has killed tons and tons and tons of people. That was his job. He killed tons and tons of them. Even he doesn't have respect for an admitted pedophile. Feel me? Even he doesn't have any respect for him. What's this got to do with Summer, Josh? Well, what goes around comes around. None of us can run from our past. I don't think we're supposed to be able to. Now, we're not necessarily defined by our past. If people make mistakes, they certainly are allowed, and it does happen. And, you know, people go to jail, bank robbers go to jail. Typically you don't go to prison forever if you're a bank robber or a shoplifter or, I don't know, an arson. Maybe you should if you're an arson. I don't know what the punishment for that is. I have no clue. None. But what I will tell you is there's even honor among thieves and killers, and you don't want to walk in to a prison with that stripe on your back. Cotton Farmer says, how does Don know what happened to his daughter? I don't know. It's a good question.
People. My daughter was raped by my first wife's son. As soon as she turned 18, he raped her on her 18th birthday. Yeah, because he knew once she turned 18, there wasn't a whole lot she could do about it or whatever. Her 18th birthday. Pretty crazy. Things she could do, but she...
Man, you know, she had a really rough 18th birthday. You know, what if it was her 19th birthday, Donald? Would that have mattered? What if it was her 19th birthday? What if it was her 20th birthday? What does any of that matter? What if it was 40 years ago? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And for anybody out there that believes that this stuff isn't a life crime, when I'm talking about this stuff, I'm talking about all kinds of abuse, sexual in nature and physical, mental, whatever. These are life crimes. Life crimes. It never goes away. So your 40-year bullcrap excuse, that's denied too. And if you go, well, the law says it, laws are wrong all the time, and that's why they get changed. They get amended. It doesn't mean just because it's the law, doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. It's not correct. The law in this case is wrong. 110% wrong. It's wrong. And to hide behind that, kiss my ass. Please. The law is wrong. Ask any surviving victim. Ask them. Did you ever get over it? Did you ever feel better from it? Did it get easier? Maybe it got easier. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it got worse. Do you think about it every day? Yeah. Don't hide behind that stupid law. Oh, it's the law. So that makes it okay. Statute of limitations is passed. Forget about it. If you say that honestly, and I get, you'll say, people will say that online, and little sycophants will echo chamber. Yeah, you're right. It was 40 years ago. Blah, 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 blah. Say that in a public square around people that, have half of a brain. It will not go well. It won't go well. Cotton Farmer says, what is any of this going to do to bring any sort of justice to those women or to Dawn? Why? Not really sure I understand your question. What can be done, or are we just walking in continuous circles? I'm going to tell you what can be done about this. People can stop defending this man and acting like he couldn't have possibly had anything to do with the disappearance of his daughter because his behavior 40 years ago isn't any better than it is today. And that is what can be done about it. And you can bet that people need to be educated about this. Some of the things that I talked about tonight were not specifically Mary and Jeannie and SA victims that we know related. That wasn't the point. And I truly hope that you didn't miss it. You feel like I'm walking in circles? Fine. I'm not. I am not. Just getting others to try and change their mind about Dawn is not going to change Dawn. I'm not trying to change them. I'm trying to warn. Isn't that what we're here to do? Warn people? Educate people? Cotton Farmer, how many people did you see in the chat put one that had never heard this before? There's a lot of new people that are listening to the show. There's a lot of new people listening to the show, and they need to hear it just the same as you heard it a year ago, because guess what? It's come back up again and again and again. And his daughter is still missing, and he's not a cleared suspect. I'm not here to change Dawn. That's not my goal. That's not my goal. My goal is to call out what needs to be called out, what I feel needs to be called out. People need to know and to stop coddling. Cotton Farmer, there are people that are coddling. And by the way, do you think... I've also gotten a lot of people say, oh my God, I never knew about that. Oh my God, I never knew about that. Oh my God, I never knew about that. That's why. It's a lot of it. And I'll continue to do it. And if you don't like the topic, then just move on.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? It is to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
but I have to put her on the side and worry about
I'm gonna
the
do
boys.
what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
Not really. It is to me. Rise, idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, you know, it's real tough.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
It's not really. It is to me.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys. But I have to.
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.